Welcome back to the apiary one more time. This is the fun part. So, one of the most important things you can do as a beekeeper are inspections. As a matter of fact, inspections are what make you a beekeeper rather than a bee haver. So, when I prepare for an inspection, there's a couple things I do. And first I want to ask you a question. What do you think a beekeeper's primary form of defense is against honeybees? Do you think it's my jacket? With all the head protection and the sting stopping? It's actually not. Believe it or not, this guy right here. That is a beekeeper's primary form of protection. So honeybees use scents, pheromones, to signal each other in colonies. And they have an alarm pheromone that smoke dampens. So if a honeybee is disturbed, it can't raise the alarm with smoke. The other bees won't smell it. So that's what calms them down during an inspection. So a beekeeper who is very good at using their smoker needs very little of this protection, unless you're getting into there during a bad dearth or you have Africanized bees or a couple other circumstances. But generally on a day when there's nectar going into the colony, they're so busy, they don't care. They just want you to leave them be. So if you're slow and gentle, you can generally work with them and not get stung. Me getting stung is the exception, not the rule. So when I get ready for an inspection, I suit up, long pants, boots, a coat. Some people wear gloves. I prefer not to because it reduces my dexterity, and my clumsiness with thick gloves on causes them to get angrier than if I just would move slowly and work around them. So then the next thing I do, it's actually one of the first things I do when I get up to our shed, is I light the smoker up and get it good and hot and smoking, because this, excuse me, is what's going to keep me safe when I go into this colony. Two other things that I bring with me are called hive tools. This is a specialized piece of metal that is intended to help me pull frames out of that colony quickly, safely, gently. This one, in the form of a J, is my favorite one. Not because my name's Jason, but because of that hook really helps. And I'll show you. I'm actually going to get into this colony and pull a frame out so you can see probably honey, nectar, and honeybees on one of the top frames in this colony. So when I do an inspection, there are honeybees that hang out, I call it the porch, but it's the landing board. Those are guard bees. So you just want to give them just a light puff of smoke, and that will dampen down any alarm response. Then the next thing, and actually during the springtime and early summer, there can be black widows here, so I'm just going to gently remove this. And I haven't seen any black widows around, but you hear that pop there. That is propolis, which is a resin that they gather from trees, and you can see it around here that they seal up their colony with. So just to keep them calm, just a little smoke. And whenever I smoke them, they usually scatter and fly around, but they'll fly right back in. And during this inspection, I want to look for, and there's a moth, get rid of that. That's a wax moth, and that will cause problems. I want to look for things like that. There's small hive beetles, there's moths, but generally I just want to make sure that the honeybees are bringing in resources. I want to make sure their queen is laying on a full inspection, and that there's no other problems that I can see. And the temperament of the colony, a lot of times as you get in here, will tell you if they're being super stressed or not. This colony here at 6 o'clock, if they were flying up and pinging off my veil here, I'd know that they're angry. But as they are, they're pretty calm. They're just down in here curing this honey. Because right now in early fall, we have tons of goldenrod on. And when they bring that goldenrod nectar in, because it's been raining, it honestly smells like a dirty gym bag. But that's a good sign, because that is the honey that's going to carry them through the winter. And honestly, from what I heard, once it's cured, The honey's delicious. It just smells awful getting cured. But just a little bit of light smoke because I don't want them to raise an alarm. And then I'm going to pull one of these frames out and I'm going to show you. So I'm seeing honey on here. I just have to break the propolis and this frame should lift right out. There it is. There they are. You can see up along the top, that's capped honey. Then you can see the wet nectar below it that they're working. They're curing it, they're drying it, and storing it away. And that's what's going to keep them through the winter, because all of this that's left on there, that's all for them. So this is what I look for in an inspection. And the other side is a lot of the same. So these calm, gentle honeybees tell me that this colony is in okay shape, because their aggression levels, especially in the evenings or early mornings, for me, it tells me something might be wrong. And these girls, and I can say they're all girls, I don't see any drones in here. These girls are just getting ready for winter, because that is the hardest time of the year for them to survive. So I appreciate you joining me today. This is just the first step in the inspection, how I prepare, how I come out, and what I'm looking for in here. Because there's 2 boxes here, I'll work my way down through and just look for any problems and make sure these honeybees are okay. And when you move slowly and gently, you work with them rather than against them. And they're a really gentle species. So yeah, these Swiffer sheets here are here to take care of these small hive beetles, which are a nuisance in the colony. So that's, again, part of the management of it. Because if you let the small hive beetles get out of control, it can decimate a colony. So, but thank you for joining us today. Again, my name's Jason. I'm the beekeeper here at Hope and Wildflowers in Old Town, Maryland. I'm going to do my best to get all of my honeybees through the winter, as that's the toughest season for them. And looking forward to spring blooms and honeybees flying. So have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you.